Happy Monday morning, everybody. Time to get back at it, huh? Sun is shining. It's getting towards the middle of May. We are getting there. So, as you can tell, I'm a little hot and sweaty. I was outside doing some work and I did some exercise, so I got that in this morning. How about you? Today is a great day to fit in some exercise. All right? I would love to know what you're doing for exercising because you know how I feel about that. But we also have to talk about, I sent you a little video about how to describe characters in stories and how they look, but also how they feel. And I'm going to read you a story called The Happy Hedgehog, which is so super cute. I just love this story. And what I want you to do is I want you to be thinking about the main character, but I also want you to be thinking about the supporting characters, the other characters in the story. The main character might not be your favorite character. Do you have a character in the story that you might like better? Any book that you read. I want you to write about that. And then as a challenge on our suggestive schedule today, you have a Venn diagram where you can actually put the book title in the middle, and it's two great big circles. And on one side, you can have the main character, and then you can have a supporting character. And then you can tell me the difference, what you liked about that character and what you didn't like about that character. You can use words like that. Describe them. This is a great way to describe your characters. So let's get on with our story, The Happy Hedgehog, shall we? Look how cute he is. The Happy Hedgehog. And I think I had heard somebody wanted to own a hedgehog. It was a beautiful day, and Miko, the little hedgehog, was feeling completely content, which means happy. He lay in his garden watching the clouds. As they changed shape, they reminded him of certain animals and plants. Miko loved his garden. He knew every flower, all the herbs, and even all the weeds by name. More than just their names, though, Miko knew about all of their healing powers. The little hedgehog also knew all the animals who lived there, the reptiles, the mammals, the amphibians, even the insects. And above all, he knew the birds by sight and by their songs. This is him watching the clouds and smelling the flowers. Suddenly, a voice shattered his thoughts. Ha! Look at you, lounging about in the garden, dreaming the day away, you lazy good-for-nothing. It was Grandfather Tarek, who was out for his morning walk. The youth of today is simply useless, said Tarek. When I was a boy, it wouldn't have occurred to me to sit around all day staring into space. You should do something. But Grandfather, I am doing something, answered Miko. I'm watching the clouds and observing the plants. And ridiculous, that's absurd. Wasting your time squatting in the grass, sniffling flowers. You should take advantage of your youth to accomplish something important so you will be happy. Look at him. So Miko answered, but I am happy here in my... Impossible. Go and take a look at how others lead their lives, shaking his head, and Grandfather limped away. Miko was confused. He didn't think that Grandfather Tarek looked particularly happy. What did others do that was so much better? The little hedgehog wondered. I will have to go and see for myself. Perhaps I'll learn something from them. And he tied up his knapsack and he headed off. Now he's going to meet some supporting characters. They're going to support his journey. Suddenly, a tortoise sped by Miko. Hey, tortoise, wait a minute, called Miko. Why are you running? I'm in training, she panted. Training for what? Asked the little hedgehog. Training to be the fastest tortoise in the world. Miko scratched his forehead. Isn't it a bit difficult to run with such a heavy shell on your back? Of course it is, said the tortoise. That's why I have to keep up on my training. But if I become the fastest tortoise in the world, I will be famous and happy. Well, that sounded good to Miko. Let me run with you, he said. And so the two took off. But Miko soon gave up. He was completely worn out. This tortoise kept on running. She didn't even look back. Oh dear, thought Miko. Running can be fun, but not like this. He rested for a moment, and then he continued on his way at a slower pace. Do you like to run? Suddenly, a hare hurried across the path. Hare, wait! Are you also in training? The hare hare looked baffled. Miko noticed the notebooks Hare was carrying. Training? No, I'm going to school. To school? What's that? Miko answered. Well, come along with me, Hare answered, and you'll see for yourself. Oh, this is cute. All right, said Miko, and he followed the hare to school. Miko hid behind a tree and watched. The teachers taught addition, subtraction, geography, and penmanship, and Miko couldn't understand a word. During playtime, he found Hare. Didn't you understand all those things like the teacher was talking about? Are you kidding? I understood absolutely nothing, the hare answered. I just memorized everything. My head will be so full when I'm finished. Maybe one day I will be the most brilliant hare of all. And then I certainly will be happy. Well, the hare said goodbye and hopped back to his seat in school. Miko slipped away and he thought, it's great fun to learn things, but just memorizing without really understanding them is not what I want. And I don't want that for you either. Deep in the woods, he heard a terrible grunting and growling. And in a small clearing, Badger was trying to lift up a gigantic stone. Can I help you? Miko asked. With a terrifying roar, the Badger heaved the stone high up over his head and then he suddenly let it to the ground with a thud. Miko jumped back. You almost flattened me. What are you trying to do? I'm building up my muscles. I want to become the strongest badger in the world. Oh no, not again, thought Miko. Why would you want to be so strong? Asked Miko. What do you mean, why? If I'm the strongest in the world, then everyone will respect me. I wouldn't be afraid of anyone. And that would make me very happy. Well, Miko thought this over. There were certainly advantages to being strong. Could I give it a try, he asked. Well, of course, Badger grinned. Here, try first with this small stone. Miko grasped the stone, he struggled to lift it up, and he began to sweat. And he got the stone up as far as his belly, and then he slipped to the ground. It landed on his little toe. Ouch! Cried Miko, rubbing and throbbing the throbbing toe and whimpering. This is silly. Oh, Miko promised himself to only lift stones when he had to build a house or a wall for his herb garden. But just then, he thought, no, thank you. And off he went again. Miko said goodbye to the badger, and he hobbled to the edge of the woods, and there he saw a trail of ants. Fascinated, he watched the busy animals scurrying here and there, and at first, the glance seemed pointless, but then Miko looked closer, and he saw that each ant seemed to have a purpose, and he knew exactly where it was going. What are you doing? He asked them, but the ants were so busy that they didn't even hear him. His grandfather was right. All the animals are busy and ambitious. They wanted to become fast and smart and strong, and they would be happy. But it seemed to Miko that while they were striving, they weren't enjoying life at all. Look at that. They are busy. Did Miko really want to live that way? So thoughtfully, he made his way home. When he arrived back at his garden, with the singing birds and the beautiful plants and the passing clouds, a wave of contentment washed over him. Happiness. No, I don't want to be the strongest, he thought, or the cleverest, or the fastest. Why make myself miserable just to be happy in the future when I'm already happy? I like the way I am, now, here at home in my garden. Miko heard a hoarse cough, turned around. It was his grandfather. So Miko, did you go out and learn something today? Yes, I did, grandfather. But you're coughing. Sit down and I'll make you a cup of tea with herbs from my garden, mixed with fresh honey. That will certainly do you good. You think so? Oh, yes. I know other healing herbs too. I can help a sprained foot, a headache, and lots more. Is that so? Asked his grandfather. Grandfather Tarek made himself comfortable among the herbs and flowers. He sipped his sweet tea, which did indeed help his cough. He asked Miko questions, and with each answer, Grandfather Tarek saw how much his grandson really did know, and how much there was to learn in Miko's garden. goes the turtle. What do you know a lot about? What are things that you could teach us? But in that story, we know that Miko was the main character, but there was a lot of supporting characters. You can choose this book, or you can choose a book that you're reading today, or one that your mom and you are reading together, or you're reading as a buddy book. Choose a different book. Tell me the main character. Tell me the supporting characters. And if you want, do that challenging activity with the Venn diagram. All right? Have a wonderful Monday, guys. I miss you. And it was great reading with you today. Bye.